ain't no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the... No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. The fair got my stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matt back, looking clean. Dead presents in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
Go get empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over here. Who's gonna get this?
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Come here, sounds like I see you in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Cousins now on second down. Caught left side, Garcon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. Dancing to his left. And some room to roam now. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Justin Ellis in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Ringo. The hug.
On second down, Ingram. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Jahan, on Andy! Hey, Steamer!
On 3rd down, Cousins. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer. That's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
That's caught. It's Thomas. 23 yards on the play.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Steps away to his left. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Todd Gurley, and now it's second down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Lucky 56.
They go play action. It's Rosen. And he finds a man on a crossing route. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Rosen on first down. Sharp's got it left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. On play action, Rosen. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it, no one got it. Now they'll toss to Gurley left. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And finally marked down at the 23. That burst good for 20 and a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness. Did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Detroit!
On first down, it's Rosen. He's going to take a shot for the end, and it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. As his guys are in for 6, and the Rams add on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script, I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. We're good. Where's the hot?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Ingram's got the first down and more. The 30, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Mark Ingram with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 34 yards there and a first down. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him. That full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball out of the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. He's going to air one out. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I got it.
Gun.
Now Cousins. Being chased out left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
A first down throw for Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
We got three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Ready?
You don't want none of go. Get it.
Place it hard.
Second down, Cousins. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, 4 down.
We're going. Let's go. 300.
To throw is Cousins. Flushed out right. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Luke Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Extra point splits the uprights, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Now Rosen looking to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught. A big play there just before halftime. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Watch it now, Barney.
Third and goal, Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Rams add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Ringo.
First down, here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Final play of the half. Cousins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! Gone!
Rosen off the play action. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Here's Rosen to throw. And a Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Detroit! Detroit!
On second down, here's Rosen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Following the interception, Cousins looking deep downfield. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Black. Yellow. Ready, in there. Yellow.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Hey! Black. Yellow. Ready, in there. Yellow.
On 1st and 10, Cousins escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rosen, and this one's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason. Why they have the lead, but now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Rosen will throw. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective third down play to move the chains. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. Gone.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Again, it's Rosen. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure, he's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
Now it's Rosen looking. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats,
Green, 39.
throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
no
yards.
yardage. Okay.
Third and long here for Rosen. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So now they assess a third and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. So they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. He's going to let this one go deep. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Back now in Seattle, Washington, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. You got 4. You got 4. Kill it,
And they'll throw it with Rosen. To Michelle on the dump off. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Gone! Detroit! 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 Detroit!
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Third and long for Cousins. That's complete to Meredith. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Cousins. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Rhino!
Now the pitch comes to Ingram. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Mark Ingram. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Now he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other two-thirds, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Now, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On first down, it's Rosen. Flush to his right. Dumps it off to Gurley. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
On second down, Rosen. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Time for a break. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustment.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Watching that, Barney, Barney.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And with the play clock running out, Sean McVay will take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Again they run with Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And all the way up to the 46. That good for 19 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Here's Cousins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. One last shot now for Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for L.A., they continue to roll as the